he also coined the term a Wi-Fi memory effect. And this is the one thing that I find in practice every day. So I put people on the couch, supine, and I'll ask them to have their knees in 90 degrees on the table, if you can imagine. And then I rotate the hip. And in modern times, because of the increased muscle tone that people are experiencing, the average hip doesn't really rotate much more than 30 degrees, whilst it should be 80 to 90 degrees. So this, I'm treating professional athletes, soccer players, and from other specialties in Germany. I see this even in really, really super fit athletes that they literally are stiff. Yeah. So why am I correlating this to EMF, and how can I convince people that actually they can correlate themselves that with it? I use a tuning fork. Yeah. If I can start maybe with that. So that's a tuning fork. We tested a lot of them. That's 136.1 hertz. So the longer the deeper the frequency, the more effect it will have to break the resonance with the Wi-Fi router, the mobile phone that you might have used a few hours beforehand. Because the Wi-Fi memory effect indicates that even if you've only been exposed to about 30 minutes with a Wi-Fi router, in your cells might still vibrate in the 10 hertz frequency of the Wi-Fi router for up to 2 days. He just put an oscilloscope, just saw the resonance with it. And this is one thing why I'm very adamant that nobody nowadays can escape the effects. I had a conversation today with somebody who lives during the night in a cage, has built a huge cage under his house and sleeps very, very well there, which I can understand. But the thing is, he still has to disconnect from the frequencies that he encountered during the day. So what we do, we just get them. I can put, maybe you can hear the frequency. So we put the frequency on the osseous structures, on the bones of the skull, on the chest bone. We put them on the knees and on the ankles. Anybody can do that. And it's like shaking your system out of the resonance with the Wi-Fi or the mobile phone. We have children that fall asleep here in the practice because we have no mobile phones or no Wi-Fi. We have nothing. And we ask all patients to turn off their mobile devices if they enter the practice. So we're not talking about a phenomena in a few decades, a few hundred years. We're talking about right now. Yeah. So you mentioned that we knew this data before we introduced the first mobile phones. Very rightly so. We have the reports that were handed over to the American Senate and in the late 70s, in 1979. And we have the same here for Germany. And it was Professor Hecht here in Germany who actually analyzed over 800 studies from the former Soviet Union about the effects. He stated in his report for the government, and unfortunately he passed away 2 years ago, but was a wonderful human being and a real genius. He summarized for the German government that all of these studies proved damage in all organ systems. So, he could prove the damage in your heart, of the kidneys, of pancreas, of brain, all of which we know by now as well. And he said it shouldn't be implemented because it's too dangerous. But the report said that, due to economic reasons, to be still competitive with other countries that have the rollout of it, and because of military reasons, we have to accept this technology. So that's how it all started. Yeah, you have this symphony of attack on our system, and you can only find your way back if you get out of it, which in our modern world is almost impossible. And what you in our first conversation told me is one of the things that I tell my patients as well. At least make your home magnetic field, electromagnetic field, and high frequency safer. The much, the more you can. Start with your bedroom, start with your working space. Nobody needs mobile phone, tablets, or anything wirelessly at home. You can all use an Ethernet micro USB or USB-C adapter. That you can get that anywhere. You can make your home, but you need to measure it. Yeah, that's the one thing I always ask people to do. I know you have wonderful tips without the EMF meter, and I think that's the way to move forward, so people can move their bed a little bit from one side to the next, and to get the experience themselves. I find it very useful if people have the way to measure magnetic fields, electromagnetic fields, and the high frequencies, but not everybody can afford the meters. That's the other thing. So it's good to start with simple aspects that people can implement in their lives. And one of the simplest ways that what I advise people to do are two things. If they think that they can't, because it's not just one transmitter in a mobile phone, we have many, you have GPS, Bluetooth, internet, and all of these together. If people say, oh no, I can't live without this and this feature of my mobile phone, and I say, well, that's up to you. But what about putting some tinfoil in a book? Open the book and put a tinfoil in there, put the mobile phone in between, and then put it out so it just radiates in front of the window. So it just basically radiates outside of the window and not into your home. Try to make sure that it's in contact with the glass and not the metal frame around it that doesn't reflect. But yeah, just get a shield from that mobile device you have in there. And I advise that with people that are at their working place, or they think, they can't do without it at home. And you can see the most amazing exchanges in people by doing simple steps. If they don't have their laptop still connected to Wi-Fi, of course, and if you don't have huge electromagnetic fields around their working space, which many people don't know that they have.